Las Vegas Raiders created a QB problem last offseason. Now Tom Brady may solve it, as an owner. What's up, football fans? Grab your popcorn because you're about to get the most insane, roller coaster-like ride through Raider Nation and the wild world of quarterbacks. Tom Brady, and some serious drama that would make a soap opera jealous. Hold on to your hats because the Las Vegas Raiders have a quarterback problem, actually. Scratch that. It's more like a quarterback catastrophe, and Tom Brady may just be the guy who saves the day. But, plot twist, he's not coming in as the QB himself. He's coming in as the owner. Yeah, you heard me right. Buckle up, folks, because this story's about to get as wild as a touchdown dance in a snowstorm. A year ago, the optimistic Raiders. Let's rewind the clock, my fellow football fanatics. A year ago, the Raiders were bouncing back from the horrific nightmare that was Josh McDaniels. They'd waved goodbye to his genius and masterminded moves, if you can call them that. And suddenly, Mark Davis had a new pep in his step. There were talks of cigars being lit, victory dances being prepped, and even the scent of hope in the air. The Raiders were ready to move on, finally. After an emotionally chaotic 2-3 start post-McDaniels era, interim head coach Antonio Pierce stepped in, and things started to feel, well, right-ish. The Raiders even managed a 5-4 finish, mixing it up with a rookie QB, Aiden O'Connell, who was ready to challenge the status quo. Heck, even Davante Adams, who had been throwing shade all over the place, was this close to believing again. Maybe they had something brewing in the silver and black. A little QB magic here, a sprinkle of hope there, and boom, the Raiders were going to return to glory. Or so they thought. And then, bam, the bottom falls out. Fast forward to this year and, well, we've got an absolute train wreck. The Raiders are sitting at a lovely 2-11, tied with the New York Giants for the worst record in the NFL. You'd think they'd have a ticket for the #1 pick in the draft by now. Right? Cue the sad trombone music. But wait, before we start getting all mopey, let's talk about how the quarterback situation got so messy that even the NFL's best troubleshooters would have a hard time fixing it. It all started last offseason, when the Raiders thought their QB problem would be solved with a deal for journeyman Gardner Minshew. Yes. You know, that guy. They gave him a 2-year, $25 million contract, because who doesn't love a good bridge contract? Right? Just throw some band-aids on a gaping wound. Well, that bridge? Yeah, it led to nowhere. Minshew didn't exactly come in and light up the scoreboard. And the Raiders had no clear answer under center. The QB draft class. Here's where it all went wrong. Oh, and speaking of nowhere, let's talk about the 2024 QB draft class. The Raiders had their sights on Michael Penix Jr., right? They thought they could just cruise along, drafting him in the 2024 draft. Easy peasy. Except, plot twist, Penix wasn't falling to them, and the 2024 QB class was stacked, like an all-you-can-eat buffet of future stars. The Raiders had high hopes, but the pool of quarterbacks was so much better than they anticipated. Suddenly, their oh-so-casual plans were turning into, well, a dumpster fire. Let's hope the Raiders don't try to draft another tight end again with their top pick. Mark Davis and the quarterback crisis. Now, let's not forget Mark Davis. The man with the bold fashion choices and even bolder decisions, sometimes. He's the one who's been behind the Raiders' decisions. And word on the street is that Davis is really unhappy with the QB situation. He's reportedly looking for some serious change in the quarterback room. But here's the kicker. He's not even fully steering the ship. Guess who's got the real juice in the room now? Enter Tom Brady, the QB whisperer, from the owner's suite. Wait for it, Tom Brady, the greatest quarterback of all time, is now a minority owner of the Las Vegas Raiders. Yeah, Brady is officially on the payroll. And even though he only owns 5% of the team, that's like 1 cup of coffee in the Raiders' fancy billionaire world. Sources say he's got some say in the team's direction, especially when it comes to the quarterback. Now, picture this. Mark Davis gets on the phone with Brady, a legend who's lived through more QB drama than anyone could handle. And Davis asks, "Hey, Tom, what do you think about this QB situation?" Guess what? Brady's answer is likely going to be the one that carries the most weight. Brady has no job to worry about. He's got zero concerns about his career. He can be as brutally honest as he wants. And Mark Davis is here for it. As one source put it, it's not like we've had Brady sitting in meetings. But he's not a figurehead. Mark respects him. Yeah, Brady is going to be all up in the Raiders' business. Especially when it comes to fixing that quarterback conundrum. Could Brady be choosing the next Raiders QB? Now, here's where it gets juicy. If the Raiders end up with the #1 pick in the draft, fingers crossed for them. You know who Brady has a long relationship with? Shedeur Sanders. That's right, Deion Sanders' son, who's been turning heads at Colorado. Brady has known Shedeur since high school, and he's been all in on the kid's talent for years. And guess what? Sanders has done what Brady would have done. He stayed in school, improving every year, sharpening his craft. If the Raiders have a chance to draft Sanders, Brady might just push the team to make him the pick. Let's face it, if Brady likes someone, you can bet your bottom dollar that Mark Davis is going to like them too. So, if Sanders is the pick and Brady's the guy who made it happen, well, the Raiders might have just found their QB of the future. What about the veteran QB market? But wait, let's not completely ignore the veteran market. Names like Sam Darnold, Kirk Cousins, and Aaron Rodgers are floating around like hotcakes, ready to be snagged by any team desperate for a QB. But here's the issue, they're expensive. And the Raiders are working with a tight budget. You're looking at contracts in the $40 million range for some of these guys, and with a rookie QB, they could allocate those funds to building the rest of the team up. The path forward. The Raiders' QB dilemma. What does all this mean for the Raiders? Well, they've got options, but the big question is, what will they do with them? They're probably looking to snag a rookie QB, maybe Shedeur Sanders, maybe someone else, and rebuild around them. It's a risky move, but hey, they've been in rebuilding mode for what feels like an eternity. So what's a little more risk at this point? The real kicker is whether or not Antonio Pierce remains the head coach. If the Raiders don't turn things around by the end of 2024, Pierce could find himself looking for a new gig. But if the Raiders hit it big with the draft and find that QB of the future, it might just be the start of something great in Vegas. The future of Raider Nation. It's all about the QB. So, what's next for the Raiders? Well, we're all sitting here biting our nails, waiting to see if they'll take the right swing in the 2024 draft. Will Brady's influence be enough to push the franchise in the right direction? Will the QB drama ever end? The only thing we know for sure is that it's going to be one heck of a ride. That's all the QB drama for today. Folks, if you loved the video, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe for more epic content, and share this video with your fellow Raiders fans who need some comic relief in the middle of a QB crisis. Keep rooting for your team. And until next time, stay sporty.